Chapter 10. This is the final chapter of the book Clementine. So, before we begin reading, I really want you to think about our characters. What are some of the problems that Clementine is facing? One of them right now is that she thinks that her parents might want to get rid of her, right? We'll probably find the solution to that problem in this chapter since it is our last chapter. We also have to keep in mind, what is our character's motivation? What does Clementine want? And we'll learn more about that in this chapter. Keep that in mind. And what lesson can we learn from this story and from Clementine's experiences? Let's begin reading. But before we actually start, I noticed that there is an illustration on this page, on the very first page of chapter 10. Who are the characters that are in this image? Yes, I'm noticing Clementine with some cleaning supplies and her mom and dad in the back. Looks like her mom is on the phone. Let's see what's happening. Make sure to read along with me. I raced back to my apartment. My parents were in their bedroom. That's right, a chocolate cake with vanilla frosting, my mom was saying to someone on the phone. Goodbye and good riddance should be in red icing. Make sure they spell her name right, I heard my dad say. Then my mom spelled Clementine and said she'd be over to pick it up soon. There wasn't much time. Well, I guess I'll go clean my room, I said, extra loud as I walked through the living room. I tried to make it sound as if these words were used to coming out of my mouth. Yep, I'll just be cleaning like crazy this afternoon. My dad came out and squinted at me, and then sat down to read his Boston Globe. My mother just glanced at me as she passed by to help my brother with his puzzle. Maybe when I'm done, I'll clean Radish's room too, I tried, and then I'll do my homework. If you need me to help with anything or solve any more problems like the Great Pigeon War, just come and get me. Okay, Clementine, my parents said, but they didn't even look up this time. So it was probably too late. Just in case it wasn't, I got the spray bottle of cleaner and some paper towels because even though I had never actually cleaned my room, I know that's the first step. Except I didn't know what to do next. I wanted my room to look like Margaret's, like a magazine picture, but I didn't know how to do it. The problem was everything already looked great to me. It seems like she loves her room already, how it is. Luckily, I knew what my parents would like me to clean. I dragged out everything from the black hole and piled it on top of my bed. And you would not believe how much stuff came out. Remember, the black hole is what they call the space under her bed. 4 shoes, 3 brushes, and too many hair clips to count. Socks and a really crunchy Easter peep that the top hat that had been missing from the Monopoly game for 2 years. And Mr. Potato Head knows. 3 library books, my book report due last Monday, and Friday's Saturn sentences. Some more socks, a Halloween mask, the skirt I pretended I lost, 2 flashlights, a mitten, a green plastic trapezoid, a taking it easy in the Everglades, snow globe, half a button, Polka Dotty's favorite rubber mouse, Mom's yoga video, and Dad's needle nose pliers. 45 cents, even more socks. I got the things all piled up on my bed, and even though they look fine to me, I started to clean them. I squirted everything with lots of cleaner and rubbed hard with paper towels. Do you think that's the way you would clean your room? I don't know if spraying her toys would be helpful. Maybe she should try organizing her things. But Clementine sees her room perfect the way it is already. Right now she's cleaning her room to try to impress her parents because she thinks they're going to give She thinks that they're going to give her away. I squirted and rubbed all afternoon. It started to get dark outside, but nothing got cleaner. Everything just got wetter and covered with lumps of wet paper towel. Suddenly, my eyes were crying and they wouldn't stop. And that's when my parents came in. I just got some cleaner in my eyes, is all, I told them. I'm doing really great cleaning up my room. But even I didn't believe that. Okay, fine, I said, wiping away the tears so I could see how mad they were at me. I am sorry, sorry, and I won't be like this anymore. Like what, Clementine? My mom asked. What are you talking about? Like whatever you don't want, I said. I won't talk so much and I'll clean up my room for real and I will think about the consequences before I do stuff and I won't do stuff anyway and I will never lose my homework because I will never lose anything. And I will sit so still that you will think, hey, is that Clementine or a statue of Clementine? And I will never bring another note home that says Clementine had a difficult day at school today. And I will bring hundreds of notes home that say, wow, Clementine certainly pays attention in school. And the underneath of my bed will look like the underneath of normal people's beds. And my hands will always be where they belong, and I will take piano lessons again, but this time I will sit on the bench the whole time, and then I ran out of air. I took a big gulp. I won't be like me anymore. And then I'll be the easy one too, as easy as celery. So you don't have to get rid of me, which I know about because I heard you say, one's all we need. And then I heard you order a cake that says, goodbye and good riddance, Clementine. My parents both ran over to me and hugged me at the same time, a hug sandwich. Then they took my hands and brought me out to the dining room. Aww. Family hug. Do you think they'll be getting rid of Clementine? Doesn't seem like it. Let's read on. And there was Margaret and her mother, and Mitchell with my brother on his shoulders, all looking at me. I scrubbed my face to make sure there weren't any tears left, even though I did not care what Mitchell thought because he's not my boyfriend. My brother yelled, "Prize!" And everybody else yelled, "Surprise!" And then they stepped out of the way so I could see the dining room table. And on it was a cake, all right, but it didn't say goodbye and good riddance, Clementine. It said goodbye and good riddance above 1,000 frosting pigeons, and then under it said thank you, Clementine, hero of the Great Pigeon War. Oh, well, what about the one's all we need thing? I asked. What about that? My mom and my dad smiled really, really big then. Wait right there, sport, Dad said. He went into the hall and came back with a big box. Open it up. So I did. And do you know what was in there? A kitten. I am not kidding you. There was only one left, Dad said, and we told them one's all we need. I lifted the kitten out of the box and took him into the bathroom to get him a name. Right away, I found the most exquisite word. I held him up to my cheek and told him his name, and he started to purr, which filled up a space in my eyes that had been empty since Polka left. And there is a picture of Clementine with her new kitten. How do you think Clementine feels right now? It seems like her feelings have changed a lot in this chapter. When I came back out, I saw Margaret wanting to touch my kitten, and I saw her tell her hands to be quiet about that because he was mine and he was new. I wanted to say, the rule is no touching my kitten because it's the rule. But I didn't. Instead, my mouth opened and said, want to pat moisturizer, Margaret? Which was a very big surprise, let me tell you. We know it's not the same as having Polka Dotty back, my mom started. He's different, my dad said. I know, I told them. He's perfect. Then I looked up and saw that everything else was perfect too. My mother in her overalls, my comedian father, my brother who didn't get stuck with a fruit name, Margaret in her Margaret hat, Mitchell slicing the clementine the hero cake, my not from a magazine apartment. So when Margaret's mother came over and said, "Tomorrow after school I'm taking both you girls to my hairdresser to fix up those haircuts," I almost said, "No thanks," because I didn't want to change a single thing. What a beautiful ending. How did the solution come about? How did our problem get solved? Clementine seemed to be having a lot of problems throughout the story, with people misunderstanding her and her feeling not good enough or that her parents wanted to get rid of her, when in reality, everybody loves her very much. And her parents really proved that today. I think Clementine must feel very, very loved. I hope you enjoyed this book as much as I did. Answer the questions below, and then we are done for Clementine.